a lot of people, working at No Jumper is their life mission, it's their dream, it's what they told their teacher in third grade they wanted to be. They wanted to be a No Jumper host when they grew up, and some people made those dreams come true. Now, for their most recent hire, Brandon, it looks like that dream has turned into a nightmare. Being hired at No Jumper is slowly destroying his life. Brandon is pretty universally recognized as one of the better hosts to ever be on No Jumper. Like one of, not the, but one of, right? Compared to other people who has been on No Jumper, he's one of the best. Which is why I think it would behoove both Brandon and No Jumper to kind of make his transition on No Jumper a lot more smoother. Now, to give No Jumper some slack of credit, like a lot of what's going on with Brandon can't really be attributed to what No Jumper has done because a lot of it has kind of been out of No Jumper, Adam, Josh's, or anybody else's hand. It kind of has been Brandon reacting to people or people just hating on Brandon or not liking Brandon because he's a No Jumper host. Even though Brandon or anybody else can't really point to anything that No Jumper has done to Brandon that was malicious, I still think No Jumper needs to step in, or else Brandon is probably going to quit or leave the platform. Because when you're Brandon, there's only so much you could take being at No Jumper if essentially being here is ruining your peace, ruining your meaningful relationships, and ruining your reputation as a content creator and a man. Let's start with exactly how being hired at No Jumper ruined Brandon's peace. See, when Brandon first got to No Jumper, Brandon's YouTube name was Pan African Strikes Back. He was doing content that was nothing gang related, nothing violent. His entire content was trying to educate and elevate people. And he was pretty soft spoken, calm, tranquil. He was Zen like, if you want to put it like that.
Surround yourself with your friends, other beautiful people, the homies, and live your best life.
That guy looks almost unrecognizable to this day because within months of working at No Jumper, Brandon went from hugging trees, walking on flowers at the beach, telling people on how to be tranquil, how to be at peace, to this.
This is the question. Do you want to squabble? Do you want to fight? That's the any in here. Look, any host on No Jumper. I don't care, Hoover, A-Tray, Inglewood, whatever. You could call your hardest from wherever you from. I'ma say it to that he'll do shit. Period.
Wait.
No, I don't give a. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Y'all ain't no call it. And the best part about me is I'll not only tell you to do it, I'll show you how if you give me the opportunity. Steve, calling who y'all got? We fading or what we doing? I gotta go continue to have fun in the sun and sweat my Rastafarian nene off.
Bro,
We fading or what we doing?
a lot of y'all watch like the drastic change and say, man, that could never be me. It would be you. If you were an employee at No Jumper, it would be you. As a matter of fact, your change might be even worse. Being at No Jumper changes your psyche because when you get to No Jumper, you quickly begin to understand that the audience, the fans, gravitate towards the street dudes. So hence, they're the ones who are the most successful on the platform. So you're being compared to the street dudes. Your performance is being compared to the street dudes, right? So you come on No Jumper and you giving information, you giving education, you is podcasting, you doing 20 hours of research just to get outperformed by the street dude who burp and eat Cheetos on camera and talk about who he shot in 2001. You do 40 hours of research to come up with nuanced takes and to be prepared and do a great show, and you get outperformed by a Cheeto eating, burping, right, leaned out street dude who has some cool street stories, man. So automatically, you then begin to mold yourself to whatever that is because you think, well, the easiest path is to, just conform and be a low-level bottom feeder because if you exhibit any type of skill set of being an intellectual or putting in the hard work, it don't really get valued, right? You're kind of doing all that hard work for no reason because the fans would never really value it, to be honest. But in the case of Brandon, I don't even feel like he was molding himself to what the fans wanted. I feel like what happened to Brandon is what I call the No Jumper markout cycle, okay? When you get to No Jumper, because the fans gravitate towards who they believe is the toughest, you're gonna have other hosts trying to mark out other hosts to be ranked in that hierarchy. So with Brandon is he came on that Pan-Africanism, but when you put it out there that you're not confrontational, they look at you as food. You become food. You become a stepping stool for the next host to rise up in the hierarchy. So what we begin to see is people began to look at Brandon as food. That's where the markout cycle starts. And then you begin to prove that you are not food by crashing out and going crazy. But then once you go crazy, you got to keep crashing out. Because the moment you stop crashing out and say, I'm not really on that no more, they will say, oh, you're not keeping that same energy. Oh, you picking and choosing. Oh, wow, you chilling today when he trying you, but you wasn't chilling yesterday when he tried you. Oh, and then you got to prove yourself again. And then the cycle keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, right? Whenever you stop, you become a mark who's picking and choosing. So you got to prove yourself that you're not a mark, and then it keeps going. In the case of Brandon, he came in as calm, being looked at as food. Being somebody who's from the streets who was gangbanging at some point, he understands you got to set an example. When you get to jail, if they take your cornbread on day one, your booty is next.
Oh, but I just caught you one. I just caught you like Jeff. You are guys. Oh. Guys, come on.
I don't care who you are, a Buddhist monk, a pastor, the Pope. If a man attack you at your job, you're going to come back to that job with a chip on your shoulders, looking to prove something, looking to make sure that everybody else knows that would never happen again. And that's what happened with Brandon. Brandon began to flex his black belt a little more. Brandon began to check any signs of disrespect at the door. Brandon, like, you could tell he was moving on edge, right? Like, for example, on the Tuesday show with Adam 22 and Munchie B and Young and Hefe and Lush One, they discussed whether or not Brandon, was being real about being a gangbanger at some point in his life. Again, that normal conversation before the suspect incident would have been something Brandon probably wouldn't have blinked at. But because that conversation was happening after the suspect incident, Brandon came back on the Thursday show and went off for them even inquiring whether or not he's a gangbanger.
The board.
What sparked this?
What I'm telling you, this is what sparked it. Niggas not about to be sitting up laughing, joking on me and talking about who is this nigga, where is he from? Did he do this? Did he do that, nigga? About where your mama is from, bro, and how you got here without a daddy in your life. That's what you need to be focused on. Period.
Who's that referencing?
There's so many niggas. Any nigga, I'm telling you, any nigga walk through these doors.
Yeah, okay.
Don't speak on me. No, listen, don't speak on me laughing and joking. Oh, he not from where he from and all that. I don't come in here on that with other niggas.
Clear as day, that particular peaceful Zen state you seen Brandon in when he was on the beach, that no longer exists, man. No Jumper has made Brandon feel like he's in the trenches fighting a war right now. He's tense, right? Now let's move on to the next part, the reputation part. This is also no fault of No Jumpers or Brandon, to be honest with you, right? The hits that Brandon has taken on his reputation, I think is a grand conspiracy. See, Brandon was probably not too much of a fan of No Jumper before he joined No Jumper, but he probably did not know this, right? Or probably he did. But when you join No Jumper, you have to deal with like a peanut gallery, right? There's a couple 100,000, like different channels. And what they do is they make videos lying on you, like lying. I'm talking about the most egregious lies possible. And they do this to make a check on YouTube, right? Now, these channels know no shame. When I got on No Jumper, there were channels making videos calling me an egg offender, claiming I was on the registry, claiming I was a multi-felon, claiming I had federal charges. Bro, I've never been to prison. Like it was just flat out lies. I've never done any weird crimes. But what they did was they took paperwork from somebody else with the same last name and claimed, haha, this is him. And they made sure not to show any paperwork with the first name so people won't know that that's not my paperwork. So these people will go to the extent to just make up lies. It wasn't until I sent out legal notices, right, and start threatening legal consequences that now when they make videos, right, every one of them, they put allegedly about 20,000 times in the description box. They put disclaimers saying, hey, everything in this video is fake. It's a lie. once they do that, they kill their own credibility. So now, like, I don't even like have a need to even engage with these people because they've already told their entire audience they're making up lies in these videos. Nothing they're saying is true. It's all cap, right? And whoever chooses to engage with that or listen to it, well, that's on you. You're just an idiot too, right? So with Brandon is, like, I guess, like, for example, with me and Adam, we're at a stage in life where the peanut gallery cannot affect nothing I got going on. I'm living well. My family is taken care of. I'm humble. I love my audience. Bro, I'm at a stage where there's nothing they could say, nothing at all that can affect me or what I got going on, right? But Brandon is at a point where he's still trying to grow in his content space. So when he sees people blatantly lying on him, he has to react to them. So, like, when he got on No Jumper, he began to flex his black belt. So automatically, again, this is right on cue. The peanut gallery began to make videos lying on Brandon, claiming he's not a black belt, claiming he's not a champion, etc., etc. That forced Brandon to respond back, right? Now, one interaction that Brandon had was when he was on live with Viral Way, which is another host on No Jumper. Like, a pro fighter named War Chief, he was influenced by the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery convinced them that Brandon was lying about having a black belt. So War Chief hopped on the live and began to call Brandon out for being a fake black belt, claiming that he bought his belts. Again, this is reputational damage that wouldn't be here if Brandon never got to No Jumper. But because he got to No Jumper, now you have the peanut gallery lying on you, and that influenced an actual professional fighter to believe the lies of the peanut gallery, and now that fighter is calling you out.
Fight game, the way they talk about it, is not real. If you guys really want to tap into the real martial arts community, real fighters, there's so many of us, but they're against him. He's a fake. He's a coon. He don't compete. He bootlegs. He buys his belt. He pays for private time with Sensei to suck up. It's not real. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu credibility is about as thick as toilet paper. I have no fear in beating this man's ass anywhere we go, any rule set, except letting his big fat ass wrestle me on knees with no punches, kicks. No, we got to fight, brother. It's martial arts. You're saying you're a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm saying I'm a world-class mixed martial artist with a brown belt on the journey in Jiu-Jitsu. Let's fight in front of everybody or nobody. But the truth of the matter is he is a fake. He didn't get hugged enough by his daddy. He ran to these Jiu-Jitsu karate schools. He paid for his belts, and now he's using it to punk. If he was a real Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, he wouldn't even fail the way he did when he fought the Brandon Slayer.
Listen, you already know. Listen to what the guy is saying. He's saying he's Jiu-Jitsu is, but he's a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu, which is right under black. So if it's gay, why are you training all these years to the point where you can get to a brown belt? That's one thing that don't make sense. Number two, he's saying I've never competed. You, as someone who's known me for over 10 years, know good and well I've competed in Jiu-Jitsu. You literally just said 2 minutes ago you went to my gym.
This is the prime example of the amount of chaos and turmoil that has came to Brandon's life. So, because the peanut gallery, random bums making videos about Brandon, lying on him about not being a black belt, that led to a profiler challenging Brandon to a fight. And before he knew it, he was in a random garage at 2 a.m. in the morning talking about fighting and popping people. The turmoil and chaos that has been caused in such a short amount of time, man, really needs to be studied. Because at this point, I think it's a conspiracy with multiple forces coming together, man, to take this man down. Because this is insane. This escalated fast.
Anybody ever call me a fat? I call this. No, you're one with a diss. Whatever. Fuck. Posing ass.
Watch out, bro.
What's up, cuz?
Oh, now
What's
see, the washing machine, the refrigerator, the tea. This is not.
This way.
There's too many gyms in SoCal for us to be fighting in this nigga garage. We got concrete floors. We in somebody.
No Jumper was concrete floors.
Said that he got.
It's ultimately gonna be on the fighter. I can't call it. When the nigga tell you his garage, I don't think.
Bro, this
What
ain't
do
even
you
nothing.
expect that nigga to have a whole ring in his
Bro,
Exactly.
Listen,
But
have you ever seen?
I can't believe I'm popping this shit. This nigga What? You soft, nigga. Hey, bro, listen. Soft. It's fine. If I hurt my knee, whatever on this concrete, who gonna pay my medical bill? This bitch has to know. Let me ask you. Why you need a medical? Why you worried about your knee? The man came. You don't want to fight. Look at this. This scary ass. Put your hand on my face, man. Put your hand on my face. No, you fast. Come on in. Come on. This I fight in the gym.
Because Brandon pulled up and didn't fight the guy for, the reasons he had for not fighting, which was, I want to fight in a professional gym. I'm not fighting in no garage. There's not the equipment that you told me was here. It's not here. This led to more reputational damages. But the implications from this was much greater than just reputational damage, because this here also cost Brandon like a decade-long friendship with the Viral Way podcast. The Viral Way and Brandon, they used to do a podcast together. I used to watch the podcast daily, right? So I invited them on No Jumper, and they pretty much started No Jumper around the same time. Well, because of this situation and the backlash from this, Brandon and Viral Way got into it. And they've pretty much announced that they're done with each other.
With the camera in the car, this when Brandon down the driveway, and I hear him on the phone telling him, yeah, I'm here with two guys, but I don't know if they got my back. So I'm like, this nigga weirdo. I'm not fucking this nigga no more. Crazy. Boom, he come back. He's trying to record more. Chris, I don't know if he had the headgear or glove, whatever, because I'm like kind of on the side of the truck. All I hear, he go, boom, hit the phone. He then drop the phone. He like, recording is over. Nigga, recording trying to dox my house. Bitch.
Well, hold on.
Get down. Now he taunting him and shit. That's when he like, oh, you taking it past MMA. I'm like, what? Nigga trying to get you to fight him, fool.
In the chat, Brandon sent $5. He said, now the true feelings gonna come out. We knew it was only a matter of time. So how was I expecting them to have my back?
True feelings, nigga. You up here calling niggas liars and we ain't your real homies.
Yeah. I told you when you did that, he was gonna do that.
Losing a decade-long friendship, I think, is the biggest loss that Brandon had in this, okay? Because, dealing with losing a piece where you could probably gain back your piece, the public reputation, bruh, like I told Brandon, bro, the peanut gallery can't, whatever they put out doesn't really stand or would affect you. They've said everything about me in the book. They've told every lie you can tell on somebody in the book. These people even did press conferences, Discord calls, Zoom calls, talking about how they could affect my... None of it worked on me, man. I stayed prayed up. I kept making content. I kept grinding. I kept working. All right? I kept working. All right? And they don't really got nothing on me. You feel me? Because I kept working. I outperformed all them channels combined now. Even though they were talking about how I fell off, I'm done, I would never be nothing, I now outperform all of them together. So when you ignore the peanut gallery and keep working, they can't affect you. So if I'm Brandon, bruh, that's my approach. And when you take that approach, there's nothing they can do to your reputation. You just got to just keep working and keep pushing. So I feel like all of that could have been like resolved, but losing a decade-long friendship where y'all kids train together, to me, that's the one that I feel like is really big, But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Brandon being at No Jumper is having an adverse effect on his life? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, man, click on this video right here, somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here on my screen to find out why Young Thug went off on Drake and Future in his leaked jail call. I'm going to see you guys in this video somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.